Wait, what does this mean? I don't understand. This is too much.
The hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. Albert Einstein. And he said that before credit scores, APRs, and adjustable rate mortgages. Picture this. You and your friend make the same salary, same age, same city, same job stress. But somehow, you're always broke, and they're always fine. Not rich, not flashy, just financially unbothered. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not because they work harder. It's not because they're better with money. It's because they understand a handful of financial terms that quietly decide how much life charges you. And most people never learn them. They just pay the bill. Welcome to Rich Habits Mindset, where we decode money the way the wealthy actually understand it. Today, we're breaking down 9 financial terms that secretly run your life. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. These aren't textbook definitions. These are the invisible levers. And once you see them, you'll never unsee them.
Yikes!
Every financial era has its silent rules. In the 1950s, it was inflation. In the 1970s, it was interest rates going nuclear. The Fed pushed rates above 20% just to kill inflation. In 2008, it was leverage. People didn't realize their homes were basically margin accounts with walls. And today? Today's sequel is about terms, not products. Because modern finance doesn't rob you loudly. It invoices you politely. Auto renewals, variable rates, fees with names so boring your brain ignores them. This is the age where the spreadsheet beats the shovel. So let's talk about the terms that decide whether you're playing offense or just reacting. Term number 1, APR, the sneakiest number in your life. APR sounds harmless. Annual percentage rate. Cute, professional, boring. But APR is the price of time. That 22% APR on your credit card? That means if you carry a $5,000 balance, you're paying about $1,100 a year for the privilege of waiting. Historically, this isn't new. In the 1980s, credit card APRs averaged 18 to 20%, but wages were rising faster. Today, wages are up about 3 to 4% annually, while credit card APRs are back near 21 to 24%. Same math, different victim. APR decides whether debt is a tool or a treadmill. Term number 2, compounding, the friend or the enemy. Einstein allegedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world, but he left out the fine print. It works both ways. Invest $300 a month at 8% for 40 years, you end up with roughly $1 million. Carry $10,000 in credit card debt at 20%, you'll pay over $26,000 if you stretch it out. History lesson. This is the same force that turned the Rockefeller family into a century-long dynasty. And it's the same force that keeps people trapped in "I make decent money but feel broke" mode. Compounding doesn't care about vibes, it only cares about direction. Term number 3, fixed versus variable, the calm versus the chaos. This one decides whether inflation scares you or annoys you. A fixed rate is boring, predictable, stable. A variable rate is like dating someone who says, "I'm just seeing where things go." In 2021, adjustable rate mortgages were under 3%. By 2023, some reset above 7%. Same house, same borrower, wildly different payment. Historically, this echoes the 1970s housing crisis, when variable rate loans exploded as inflation surged. Fixed rates buy peace. Variable rates rent hope. Term number 4, credit utilization, the invisible credit score killer. You can pay every bill on time and still get punished. Why? Credit utilization. If your card has a $10,000 limit and you're using $4,000 of it, that's 40% utilization. Anything above 30% starts hurting your score. Above 50%, lenders flinch. This term alone can raise or lower your borrowing costs by 2 to 4 percentage points over your lifetime. That's tens of thousands of dollars because of a ratio no one explains. Term number 5, liquidity, when cash is king. Liquidity just means how fast can you turn this into spendable money without lighting it on fire. In 2008, people were rich on paper and broke in real life. Homes illiquid, stocks crashing, jobs gone. Today, central banks injected over $9 trillion into markets since 2020. Liquidity flooded everything. Assets went up, cash felt dumb. But history says this always flips. In tight liquidity periods like 1974 or 2008, cash isn't trash, it's oxygen. Term number 6, opportunity cost, the silent tax. This is the cost of what you didn't do. Buy a $70,000 car instead of investing that money at 7% annual returns over 30 years. That car doesn't cost $70,000. It costs over $530,000. Historically, this is why Buffett drives boring cars, not because he hates fun, but because he understands math. Opportunity cost is the bill you never see, but always pay. Term number 7, fees, the death by 1,000 paper cuts. A 1% fee sounds tiny until you zoom out. A $500,000 portfolio with a 1% annual fee can lose over $150,000 across a 30-year investing life. In the 1990s, this was hidden in mutual funds. Today, it's hiding in subscriptions, apps, and convenience charges. Fees don't look dangerous, they just never stop. Term number 8, inflation, the quiet thief. Inflation doesn't steal your money, it steals your time. At 3% inflation, prices double roughly 24 years. At 7% inflation, in 10 years. That means if your money isn't growing, you're moving backward. This is the sequel to the 1970s, when inflation quietly destroyed savers and rewarded real assets. Same villain, new costumes. Term number 9, risk premium, why the game feels rigged. Risk premium is the extra return you demand for uncertainty. Stocks historically return about 9 to 10%. Treasury bonds around 4 to 5% long term. That gap is the risk premium. But here's the twist. Most people take stock-level risk for savings account-level returns because they panic at the wrong times. Right now, we're living in a world where credit card debt in the U.S. just crossed $1.1 trillion. Average APRs are the highest in 30 years. The top 7 stocks make up over 30% of the S&P 500. Inflation is cooling, but prices aren't coming down. This is a magnificent 7 moment, not just in stocks, but in personal finance decisions. The people who understand these terms aren't smarter. They're just less surprised. Here's the truth no one likes. The future isn't guaranteed. Rates could fall, markets could crash, inflation could spike again. History says cycles repeat, but never cleanly. So the goal isn't perfection, it's positioning. Understand the terms, reduce the silent leaks, don't bet your life on one outcome. Because money doesn't reward confidence, it rewards clarity. And the moment you learn the language, life gets a little cheaper. If this video helped you think differently, hit like, subscribe to Rich Habits Mindset, and remember, the bill was always coming. Now you finally know what you're paying for.